Good morning, everybody. This video is going to be made in response to a question by Danny. She asked, how did I quit drugs and if I used AA? The question is a little bit complicated, to be exact. Let's start when I began drinking. I was 19 when I started drinking alcohol. I was a student at Whittier College, and like most students, I wanted to fit in. So I started going to parties, started drinking heavily, and I blacked out a few times here and there, had alcohol poisoning, but I still continued drinking. When I graduated college, I started working at a labor union called Unite Here and at a hotel in Long Beach. I didn't stop drinking, unfortunately. I was drinking every day. When I'd get off work at 6 in the morning, I would go to a bar and get wasted, go home, pass out, go back to work, and repeat. I did this for a couple of years, and it wasn't until I had pretty much screwed my liver up, and I was going to my doctor, and I told her that I was drinking heavily every day. It got to the point where on the weekends I would be drinking about 40 ounces of hard liquor a day, and she was saying that for me to continue living pretty much, I needed to quit drinking. The positive was I hadn't really destroyed my liver that much, but if I had kept on going down that path, I would have pretty much screwed myself up. So I quit drinking. It's been almost 2 years since I've had a sip of alcohol. But the problem is, like most alcoholics, I needed another avenue. So I started smoking weed. I would be smoking weed every day, and that escalated to other things. One of my partners that I was working with at the hotel started giving me Vicodin and Valium, and I loved it. And so I got hooked on Vicodin, and that was hard to get off of. It took me 3 times until I finally quit Vicodin, but what happened was each time I would quit, I would go through withdrawals, which was horrid. I would be stuck in my room. It would feel like my body was crawling out of its skin. I would be sweating. I'd be paranoid. I'd see hallucinations. But then I would quit. I would go through a period of a couple of months where I would be completely sober, but then I would get back on it again. Unfortunately, the allure was too strong, and I had not really overcome it. Danny asked if I went through AA, and I tried AA. I went to AA a couple of meetings, but to me, I didn't really see the point in AA. I actually saw it as a cult and saw it as being a restriction to me. But don't take me wrong. AA is a very good thing. For some people, it works, but for me, it didn't really work. I actually quit on my own validity. So what happened was about the second or third time I quit going through withdrawals, I swore off pills, and I just started smoking weed every day. There was a point there where I was smoking every day. I was not sober once, but the problem was that was making me even more paranoid. And around the time that I was diagnosed as having manic depression, I had to quit smoking weed. It was just driving me off a wall, and I had a mental breakdown one night where I went completely crazy and ended up driving off to the Mexican border. I partially don't remember a lot of that experience, but it was eye-opening, and I told my parents about what was going on, and I started talking with them a lot. However, once again, I fell off, and this is where I started taking oxycodone or Oxycontin and Soma. A friend of mine who was living, or a supposed friend of mine in Long Beach, his aunt was a drug dealer, and I started talking with her, and before I knew it, I had a quite amount of pills, and that's when I really got scared. The problem was each time I would quit, I would get stronger. For example, after I quit Vicodin, I went to Norco. After Norco, I started taking, I forgot what it was, some other variation of Vicodin, and I was taking Valiums, and then now I was taking oxycodone and Soma, and my fear was that I would go to heroin next. So I went to my parents, I confronted them and told them what was going on, and together we worked on it. It was hard. That was one of the worst periods. The withdrawals were not fun. It felt like I was going to die numerous times, and like I said, that was like the 4th or 5th time I had gone through withdrawals. But I've been clean since, and a lot of the reason why I'm clean is because I wanted to continue my life. I didn't want to fuck everything up, and I wanted to just move forward. But trust me, it was not easy. I needed the help of a therapist. I needed the help of a psychiatrist. I needed my parents backing me up, and I needed the will of my own to do it. But as I said, some people need AA, some people need religion. Whatever the case, it's not easy, but when you do it, trust me, it feels great. Well, that's today's video. Hope it was a little bit of it was a little informative. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment on this, and I'll try to answer them. Thanks, and have a good one.